Have you ever looked at yourself in third person? Think about when you're doom scrolling boxing TikToks at 2 in the morning after you just spent your Friday night playing Bed Wars for 5 hours straight. I want you to try this. Spawn behind yourself and pretend you're just watching yourself do shit on your PC. I bet you see yourself trying to like inventory tap or something stupid. You'd be looking goofy, bruh, on the low. I mean, you could be out here pulling some alt hoes who are different because they listen to Tyler the Creator and Blade. But you're trying to get Master 4 in unranked boxing instead.
Bruh.
Now, I want y'all to ask yourselves, is this really what I want to be dedicating the most free era of my life to? Am I just a dopamine slut letting these video game corporations fuck my brain and steal all my time and hobbies? Well, let's find out. Let's start with who you are. Most likely you're kind of quiet, don't really talk in school, kind of just cool by yourself. You probably don't have too many friends in real life. You're probably kind of ugly too. Maybe you're like short. And you definitely have no bitches. Not a single hoe. Not one. But don't worry about that though. Ugly people are expected to isolate themselves, so that's not entirely your fault. You can blame your parents for that shit. You probably have some like weird hentai wallpaper from Wallpaper Engine. You probably hate your parents because they tell you that you're gaming too much and that you need to go outside and get a job. So to cope with the fact that you don't have many friends in real life and are a loser, here you are, playing Bed Wars on the Friday night that your prom is happening. It's pretty sad, isn't it? Maybe if you were a bit more attractive, you'd be porking some women and lifting OD weights with the football team. And maybe even doing the renegade at the Bakersfield Public High School homecoming. But instead, you're calling teenage girls mommy on rockspot.com at 2:47 in the morning. Let's talk about the thing that sent you down a deep spiral into loserness. That is Minecraft PvP. There's an underlying problem when it comes to kids playing Minecraft. Minecraft is probably the most addicting game on the internet, and it's because of the amount of dopamine that gets released when you play it. The amount of dopamine released during Minecraft PvP surpasses the majority of other games by a far margin, in my opinion. Now that's because of the greatest thing mankind has to offer. Minecraft combos. Unlike FPS games where there's only a few chances to get that big dopamine hit, our tiny monkey brains go bananas when we get multiple combos in a boxing 1v1. Depending on the game mode you're playing, you'll have multiple chances to get that hit of dopamine from the game, especially if it's boxing. The appeal of boxing is that it's easy to get combos. Like these bum-ass randoms can just log on minemen.club and just hold W, hold down their left click, and just get a fuck ton of dopamine. With boxing, it's really easy to get combos. You can combo someone any second in a 1v1 and get that dopamine hit. Like, you barely even need a W tap anymore. It's just like frying your brain with these instant gratifications. And combos aren't the only thing either. Just like looking around, feeling that smooth FPS in your game, looking at your cosmetics, shit, even just walking around spawn and F5, looking at my Twitch cape, makes me feel nice. It's just relaxing. I don't know what it is. That definitely sounds weird, but I know you guys do it too. There's a lot of small factors none of us are really aware of that make us want to play this game more. Alright, so now that you're all aware of instant and delayed gratification, I have a small experiment that I want you guys to all try. I want you to go to your local convenience store, or your kitchen, purchase some donuts. 2 donuts, please. Now, I want you to think about the things you've been putting off for a while. Maybe your room is disgusting and you have ramen noodles and Monster all on your desk. You got dirty clothes on your floor. That bitch is disgusting, bruh. Your room is disgusting. Now, put the donuts somewhere where you can see it. Now, clean your room, do 3 sets of 15 push-ups, and then take a shower. Now, after you've done all that, eat the donuts. Alright, now I know you bums didn't do any of that, but if you would have gotten hit with a dopamine hit that's harder than any boxing combo that you could ever get. This is what we were made to be doing, boys. We were made to carry out difficult tasks to receive bigger rewards. But instead, you're wasting that ability queuing unranked boxing, getting little baby rewards that don't mean anything. Which is fine if you're just trying to chill after a long day at work or something, but when it's taking up the majority of your day, and you're spending hours playing, and that's when it becomes a problem. When you fill your brain with these instant gratifications for hours daily, you slowly make yourself weaker and more susceptible to being a soft, weak loser. It's why you're so skinny. It's why you got no hose. It's why you get uncomfortable when you order a burrito bowl. Like, you're so comfortable with these quick dubs that you forgot about the best dubs of all, the ones that you got to really earn. Now, one thing I will acknowledge is genetics. I think it's odd if you're just short and ugly and you want to just not watch the genetically gifted people do all the shit that you want to do in real life. I'm actually a big advocate for escapism. I think it's a blessing for us to have these outlets to thrive in instead of watching people better than you do everything that you want to do, like just better than you. However, you gotta use escapism with moderation, or else it's gonna take over your entire life. Like, how often do you just hate being outside of your room? I bet it makes you feel uncomfortable now. It wasn't always like that, was it? When did you start to feel like that? Most likely when you started taking online video games seriously. These online video games are exploiting our brains, boys. It's satisfying to want to dominate another human being, even if it's on the internet. That's the appeal of online video games in general. It's in our nature to want to fuck each other up. We biologically want to shit on each other. Like, the universe designed me to 7-pot rice farmer 11 and then type ZZZ in the chat to assert my dominance. Now, luckily there are ways to break these habits, and it's doing things that are uncomfortable and that require effort and don't give yourself that instant gratification. I think the best practice for this is going to the gym. I started going to the gym 2 weeks ago, and it feels really rewarding to start seeing my abs and my body looking better again, and I just feel better overall too. Working out makes you feel a lot better, and I feel more accomplished after spending 2 hours at the gym compared to 2 hours of queuing rank no debuff. It's a really good feeling that video games just can't really give you unless you're like a content creator or something like that. Another thing that you can do that I actually do when I feel myself consuming too much dopamine is I just stare at the wall for like 20 minutes. I'll just like sit on the floor and stare at the wall and just think. And by doing that, it gives your brain a bit of a dopamine cooldown. It makes you want to just do other shit that's not just scrolling Twitter, watching YouTube, playing boxing, going on TikTok. You kind of just think, you relax a little bit, and it opens your mind up to other alternatives for stuff to do. Another one that I've been doing for a while now is just going on a walk. Like, I'll just leave my phone in my room and walk around my town and think. I mean, I am one of the modern era's greatest philosophers and deepest thinkers, so it's expected for me to do this, but, you know, I just thought I'd share this with you boys. Now, don't think this is me trying to tell you guys that the internet is just some cesspool for losers to dwell in, and I think the internet's awesome. I've had some of the best memories of my life on the internet, and it has definitely shaped me into the person I am today, and if you're trying to say it hasn't, then you're lying to yourself, especially if you're watching this video. I've met like thousands of cool people on here, and I'm eternally grateful to live in this era. However, I do believe that you gotta find a balance to be able to become a functioning adult. Real life catches up to everyone. You won't notice it just yet because you're probably like 14, 16, but trust me, when you get older and you still have these habits with no balance, it's gonna hit you like a brick. So just be mindful of all this shit, because if you don't grow up eventually, if you don't learn balance, all this shit is gonna hit you in the face very hard, and it is going to hurt like hell. Alright boys, that's gonna be the end of this video. This show is mad fun to make. It's like a video with a message. I have like 3 other videos like this scripted out. So if you guys like this, just let me know in the comments.